What on Tyson?
So basically, how to apply rubber to all this shit to dampen vibration,
Yeah.
because any impact you get, I don't care if you fall off of something, you jump off of something.
So,
I mean,
so
they
you're
show
basically
him,
talking about creating, encasing something and making like a kind of like a shell within
and
it.
this is what I keep saying.
Having
When you
the
look
core of something.
look at foam rubber. Now, that is supposedly closed cell. Now go look at a piece of bicycle
Yeah.
energy.
You can see where I put heat treatment on there and sealed the porous effect of it and kind of feel it. In some areas it's really smooth, some areas it didn't. Uh, you know, need a nice good heat gun for the to seal the foam to get a good effect.
Yeah, what they did is use
Well,
foam
then it
rubber
would look like
to
that.
seal it.
Yeah, you said
Self
they
did that.
coated.
He coated it 7
Well,
times.
we got the Mod Podge. Now that's pretty good stuff. But using the heat treatment on there and then the Mod Podge afterwards should be like a first and secondary layer
Here's
to,
the
to
thing.
help
Are we
smooth it out.
talking just for a foam?
Just
roller?
for on the foam. But you can use that on other materials too. Like you can seal like some leathers and stuff like that, like coarse leather. You can use the Mod Podge to do that, and then you can actually get a good coat of something on it if you're trying to do something different. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's the thing. Like leather being porous as it is, the most common shit they use for treating is silicone.
Yeah.
They used to use waxes, but heat, wax melts it runs back up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, leaving something like this lay in the sunlight, you
Oh,
don't
that
think
thing's
of
gonna
it,
be
but
smoking hot for sure.
yeah,
For sure.
and that heat, you're causing all the wax to break down, melt, and literally run. Several times of this,
Mhm.
you've lost all waterproofing and shit due to the wax.
Yeah.
Silicone, on the other hand, is much finer and fits into the pores, the grains,
Yeah, that's
and
for
it
sure.
seals it.
Yeah.
But silicone is usually not affected by heat.
And you can see here where some of the different foams that I use, the paint cracked.
Yeah,
For
that's the common
movement.
thing they keep
Right.
talking about.
And now mind you, I used the Mod Podge spray on this, trying to seal it. But the problem was that I didn't do this is because I didn't do heat treating in this area. I didn't heat treat it and then spray that on there to seal it, and that's the end up scenario. Now, here's the difference. This has been heat treated and then sprayed. Look at the difference.
Yeah, you can tell it's a whole lot more porous.
Right. So what I then decided for the suit is that it has different types of materials, and just like in the Justice League trailers, and shows what the character looks like, he's got all kinds of different things that are going on with the different surface materials and what what the suit looks like. So I'm like, well, I guess that's for this. It could be that, and then we can decide to come back for the hardened pieces, mold right off of this, to make this style suit.
Well, this is
Yeah.
all I'm saying. For some of
Yeah.
this, you want a much smoother effect.
Yeah.
Shit, kind of
Right.
turn the rough side in.
Yeah.
The back side is smooth and slick.
Yeah.
So if you want something that gives you a smoothness like this, yet you can still paint it, you can still do whatever the hell you want to it.
Oh, we haven't checked out. Here's the Leonidas' cape. And I just got done. I've been working on this part here to carry the shield. And it's kind of like low profile. I should maybe take red and paint this like a dull red so it disappears. And you just put the shield on there to carry the shield. I tried it on. It kind of draws up a little bit here. So what I had to do, there's some really interesting stuff going on in here with this construction method and the harness. It's around the collar. I attached all the leather around the collar, and
You might weight the front of that a little bit with something.
well, what I think is happening is down underneath here, I might have to take in the slack. It's a little loose, so it doesn't kind
Well,
of
you've got
draw
to be able
the
to get it
shield.
on.
And I mean, it's not bad. I can walk around with it. As soon as I start lifting my arms up, then it starts to go further down and drops. And then I have to kind of like drag my collar and bring it back up. So maybe something has to be snapped underneath it. I don't want to do too much to change it. So what I did is basically that's the other. It's got the permanent magnet on the other side, so it will also grab the shield. Because it's steel, it'll hold it up against there. keep it from sliding around while it's sitting on the hook. The wife did a pretty good job doing this adaption right here. And to do this, actually, it's really nice. It wears really good. I kind of dig it. Putting it on. It's kind of cool. And to beat it all, learning how to put this together was coming from Captain America's
Harness to hold the shield.
right. How to hold the shield. The same. Oh, this can't hold down. It's supposed to clip on there. But this turned out a lot better. If it was a lot thicker, I'd use this for the Captain America's harness because it fits great. The neck piece and stuff. As you can tell, it's hidden underneath.
Well, you can always go back and get real leather in any width you want if you want to design another one for attached with wider straps, the whole nine yards.
Yeah,
It's not
well,
that hard to find.
right, and this kind of leather seems to be
You guys
pretty
are
good.
a lot closer to it than I am. There's a saddle shop up there called, I think it's Cox Saddlery.
Let's see how
On
this
the way
fits.
in the Hamilton.
Mount it. Let's see how it feels. It's 9 pounds, so it's a lot heavier. Is it too thick?
Yeah.
Wonder Woman shield. Grab Wonder Woman shield.
With that piece there, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I already had it on there once before. It hurt. It should fit.
Your handle it doesn't want to take both pegs. It only hooks on one or the other.
Huh.
You're trying to shuffle it.
All right, so I guess what I did with the ones that are on mine, I took the Dremel and I cut those little nubs around the inside of it because it was rounded, and that's why I think it keeps it from being able to be mounted. But Alex got it on, and I had it on for a few minutes. I mean, it was pulling up on my neck like this a little bit, but like I was saying, this needs to be
Keeping in
pulled
mind,
back.
like the load-bearing harnesses, you might just put a piece of foam or leather or something across one of these straps under here so that it actually rests and touches you here,
Yeah.
and that foam will have a gripping effect on your skin and shit, so it won't move. So once
Right.
it's sitting on that, the weight pulling down on it locks
Right,
those
because every
in.
time I go like this, it'll go back, and this will start rolling back on me.
There's a
And
couple small strips of the EVA4 foam. Just cut it a slot, like to slip it on there if you can. If
Yeah.
not, glue it to the back, or
I
maybe
like it.
even
It's
pin it
easy.
to the back.
Oh, to the back side.
So
Well,
the underside where it's going to lay against your skin. And
yeah.
that's going to grip, and it's not going to allow it to walk or move.
Now check out the
I mean, those
way
are
it's
simple,
made.
quick fixes, but
See, this is over the shoulder right here.
right. So I'm saying you add a piece
So
of
right here.
foam to this, whether you glue it, tape it, whatever how you want to do. If you want to be able to remove it, a simple safety pin. Just don't pin it on the same side as it'll touch your skin.
Right.
But I'm just saying that a piece of foam cut only yay long, about like that, one for each side. And when that's touching the skin, it's not going to allow it to walk. And it's hidden underneath, so you're not going to see it.
Yeah.
If you have to,
And you
blend
see how
it the
that
same
that,
color as this or whatever.
that didn't turn out too bad. All we got is just the nub sticking out, which that's all I really wanted. You know, I wanted to keep it as aesthetic as possible as the Spartan cape, but they didn't think about using that kind of hook
Right, I mean,
mechanism.
how did they carry their
So-
shield anywhere they went?
Right. So either they're just going to carry it on
only
the
other thing I
side.
can think of
So-
is the handles and stuff. If they ran a strap through it, made literally just like a wood with a belt,
Yeah,
and slung
yeah.
it over a shoulder or something. Because and keeping in mind, I don't know if they'd go to the trouble to make buckles and all. They could simply tie the damn thing in a knot, and that way, when you flip it down, tug the knot, and the belt falls away, and now you're holding the shield.
Right.
I mean, I'm trying to think of could be a piece of rope or anything.
Yeah.
Keep it. How would they have carried it? That's what I'm saying. You go back to that time period.
That's why I watched the movie, and then I started looking at it. all I seen when they were marching, they were carrying the shield. They had their staff in the same handhold, and then basically they had their hand free for the shield for their sword on the other hand. Here are, by the way, Flash's winglets for his for the helmet piece. I got the first bearing on here that how I'm going to use this, so that it follows his wind movements. So as he's walking, I'm going to put a stop at a certain point. So basically, these are going to be sitting on both sides, and as he's walking along and the air hits it a little bit, these will float and just keep in balance. So the faster he goes, the more streamlined these things will probably lay back on his head. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And the reason being is that these were antennas for his communication to his, like his crew or whatever back at the pit, that would keep him tabs on him and stuff like that. So his body movements and stuff that are just going all over the place with with the bearings keeps the antenna in line with its movements, so it doesn't disrupt the antenna, so it keeps always in contact. That's kind of the reason for it. Also, it'll probably be very cool the way it should look on the helmet. Because here's the top. I've already got the cutout. The placement for pieces that are going to be coming through and then getting blended across over the top of it. And the position of that's going to look something like that. Right there. Like that. It's going to be pretty interesting. And that's still the remnants of the first Captain America's helmet. Here's some other bearings that are going to go for some other interesting uses that I got in the suit. For some other articulations down in the waist area. But that Flash is going to have some interesting gadgets, and I've been picking up on following like a few of the Nerdist ones that are talking on like on YouTube and stuff. That get inside tidbits and stuff. There's like a few good images where he's jam-packed with gadgets. Tony Stark style, basically, in the DC world. But somebody gave me these. I got 4 of these. So I'm going to use 2, and then the other 2 are going to go into the Iron Man work. Just a couple spots that these could go in and disappear into, which is real handy. Man, here's another example of that. The classic you've seen before, the Kevlar work. I've gone a little further, and I've done the inside a little bit further. Eventually the whole thing's going to be totally encompassed. Now mind you, this thing started out was a piece of paper. And then I put the wire mesh over it, over the piece of paper. And what I was saying before is to encompass it completely around. Over this side and this side. And then epoxy's going to hold. And right here, this is a good example of it right here. And I'm gonna put it around.
That's what I'm saying. The best part of all is getting a hold of that kind of shit fairly cheap. So when you need more of it, it's easy to come by.
Oh, indeed.
And yet, you can sculpt the shape and it holds the shape. So it's pretty much like sit there indefinitely.
This is back. I took it off because what do you think? Too thick. Too gaudy.
Maybe not.
Well, in comparison with everything else, I found it was too gaudy on the back. So what I was going to do was keep everything that I did there.
What I'm suggesting on the thickness of that is keeping in mind, if you were to take a fall.
Well, that'll take some good pressure. That'll take a good hit.
Hell yeah. It'll absorb the impact of falling on it. Help cushion the blow.
Right. But what I was thinking of doing was going to cut it out, cut these parts back out of this white foam, and fix them to another piece of leather. Because on the back side, let's see if I'm turning it around. thing on the backside. Little work in progress here. And basically what this is supposed to do is this is supposed to go right here at the base. And then that. Like that. And kind of we got some space between here and here. But I'm not sure. See what I think is like I made it too small. And what I need is to break this piece and have it be here and then from here down be a little further down, like right here. And then basically the next set a little further down about here. So what I thought to do is to get some more of this leather material, which I do have, and reassemble this on it and then attach it to this. Boom, boom, boom. And some snaps, which I got. That'll help fill that.
Well, that's the same thing I ran into and sitting there trying to make the Ironman suit. Basically, we scaled it up with the template, but depending on who you put it on and how they're built,
Yeah.
that too changes.
Now that's what I was saying. Alex outgrew the size, the back part where it flips together. The shoulders
Usually
even got
that
a
won't
little
be
bit.
too hard to fix, just extend the strap.
Yeah, yeah, right here on this backside. Basically, this is about where it was sitting when I was trying to put it on. It used to be able to go over here and snap on and get over here. Now it's about this far back. There. I was
Another
like,
easy
wow.
fix for that is like a
A
plastic
longer
ring
strap?
on one piece, a
No,
strap that
longer
goes
strap.
all the way through, fold it over, and put the Velcro on the back of it.
Yeah.
So
See
it
what I
remains
did allow.
adjustable no matter what.
You see, I did allow for it to overlap and so that there'd be
Because
some
this spacing
spacing.
principle, that's what they want to put the whole Ironman suit together with.
This
They're
still fits
smaller.
him. That still fits him, but it's the upper part that doesn't. So, an adjustable strap, and it's overlapped so that it can spread like this to adjust to the person's size. And it seems to be, that's the only key part. Everything else seems to be in the right place. He says it's a little tight here and here, and it really wasn't. I tried it on, and for me, I guess I'm not as tall as him, so I guess it fits me better in a sense. I fitted it to me and then enlarged it, and which I did. And apparently, he outgrew that. So, oh well, I'll have to figure that one out. But this, I tell you what, this really